Hello, fellow artists and ghouls. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use a program known as Paint Tool Sai, which is a tool for digital artists that like, I guess, to draw digitally, basically. So this is pretty much how the program looks like right here. And you can't really see right now, but I'm also using a tablet to draw in this program. Most artists usually prefer to draw this way with the tablet so that you can change like the pressure of the pen or like different strokes, and it's basically like traditional drawing. And so yeah, but I mean there are some artists that draw with the mouse too, and that's fine as well. So yeah, to start off with this program, there's a lot of things you could do with this. You can change pretty much the pressure settings or like what tools you want to use. So like right now the one I'm using is this pen, which you could just scribble around and do whatever you want with it. Now if I get rid of all of that, I can also use something like, let's say, a watercolor brush. And then if I make my brush a little bit bigger, over here, down here in these settings, you'll be able to see that there's a variety of sizes that you can change from. So you can get larger strokes. Oh, let me see. Am I doing this right? I don't know. We'll see. There you go. And so it's a lot different than like the pen setting. This one is known as the water brush pen. And so you're allowed to like change the effects of all of these. Like this one down here is a customized pencil that I like to use because it allows me to get, I guess, a lot of detail with it, and so I like to doodle with this, like a little happy face. There you go. And see, and depending on the pressure you put on the tablet, it gets darker too. So you have something like this, little ears or something. Woo! See? And so pretty much I customized this pen so that it could follow the amount of pressure that I put onto the tablet. And people can do that as well just by going to these settings right here. And you're able to change like the density of like the brush. So like if I want it to be really light, then I could just bring the density down lower, and then I would have to put a lot more pressure basically in order for it to get really dark. And so if I put the density back up to 75, then it's just kind of normal. Ooh, it's a lot more easier to make it darker. And yeah, so now, and then you also got other tools like an eraser, which is pretty basic. You can erase all of this, and then you can also change the density of the eraser as well. So like let's say I want the density to be 100, so it just everything goes away pretty easily basically. Let me just erase all of this. Sometimes your computer, depending on the program or like how fast or great your computer is, it can be a little bit slow. Like right now my eraser's still trying to catch up with my pen, but otherwise, yeah. What's also great with this is that you can use the bucket tool to fill in backgrounds or even just general like areas, which is pretty cool. And so you got like a great background right here like this, and then you can use another tool like the pen tool, which is a pretty like, I guess, like a really bold like tool, because like let's see here, see the lines are a lot more solid and they're not as transparent as like the pencil is. And so you can use this for like finer lines when you're like inking stuff, kind of like in traditional drawing, except you can also use layers over here to like, make layers out of them, and so you can move them around and move these layers around. So like let's see, I have this little guy right here. Here's one guy, and then let's make another layer right there. You just add it by clicking on that little page. And then let's make this guy green. Woo! And there you go, now they're best friends. And then if you want, you could use this magic little hand right here, I think. And you can move the tool around, of course, like to move your canvas if you ever need to like get a different angle at things. Then you can also use, I think it's this tool, yeah, right here. This little this little moving tool, I guess. I don't really remember what it's called, but you could use it basically to move this layer around. Since they're on a separate layer, you can do whatever you want with it. Since they're technically, it's like having multiple canvases, but put all together onto one file. And so, yeah, that's generally kind of the gist of it. Like, you can do a lot of things with like editing your different tools or like placing them in different layers, and then eventually you can get different outcomes like something like this. And yeah, that's generally the gist of how to use Paint Tool Sai. Otherwise, a lot of it is just self-exploration and finding out what suits you best. Thank you for, I guess, watching. Yeah.